Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest. And today I am checking out from Charlotte Tilbury the Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. Yes, all those words. Retails for $46. Oh, let me get the quantity here. That is for 9 grams or 0.31 ounces of product. Comes in 20 different shades. I've got shade 4 Fair, which is they call it Fair Medium, but they don't have a light. Like, none of their words are light, so it's like what I am assuming is Fair Light. I am usually, in the wintertime, a 2 or a 3 in Charlotte Tilbury, and the rest of the year, a 3 or a 4. I did get to swatch this in Sephora. Best day ever! It's been so long since I wandered a Sephora and just went up and down the aisles and did some damage, y'all. I can't even remember the last time I did Sephora damage at full price without a sale. But let's take a look at what they say about this one. Light coverage, radiant finish, multi-molecular weight hyaluronic acid for giving skin a plumper appearance, vitamin E for transforming dull complexions with antioxidant and moisturizing abilities, daikon radish seed oil for moisturizing and helping skin look smoother and firmer over time. So they have a trademarked ingredient here, collageneer, to rapidly hydrate, nourish younger looking skin. Comes in 20 different shades. They had a clinical test of 33 people, and one of the outcomes of that was that skin looks 32 times smoother. So I'm not going to wear a primer today, just for the purpose of checking out this 32 times smoother. This side of my face could use that. A lot of sun damage and texture going on over here. So let's take a look at shade 4 Fair, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up, from Charlotte Tilbury, the Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint in shade 4 Fair. Second, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last, I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 49-year-old face. I will go in on one side with a damp sponge. I get these from shopmissa.com. They're the AOA Studio. I buy them in a bulk bag. They're like $1.25 a piece. They are my favorite sponges. I get questions about them. That's where I get them. I have tons of them, and at that price, I don't feel bad if they fall apart. And the thing is, they don't fall apart. Like, I have a whole entire drawer of my shelving unit here that is just these sponges. I don't like to wash them that often, so I like to have lots and lots so I can go a long way in between washing. It's terrible. Don't do that. Other side, I'll use my BK Beauty 101. We will see if this goes on better, brush or sponge. Usually stick foundations are better with a brush for me, but it just depends how emollient they are. The Makeup Revolution one, the Fast Base Stick, that one, I can use a sponge. That thing spreads like butter. Let's see how this one goes. We'll do one side at a time. Now, I'm guessing this is my summer shade. I did swatch it, and I am going to use it as concealer as well. Wow, it already looks like super dewy, like a super reflect happening here. Like, if I didn't know better, I would think this was meant as a highlight. Okay, it tones down a little bit once you start blending it out. It is shiny though. Holy cow! Like, it's not even dewy. I feel like it's a like a sheen, you know, like a highlight sheen, like an intentional highlight. That's interesting. This looks darker than it did when I swatched it, but the lighting in your typical Sephora, including mine, is usually terrible. So now what I do, my strategy when I'm in a store like Sephora that does have Estee Lauder, I immediately go to the Estee Lauder and I put a stripe of 1C1 Cool Bone on my hand because I know the lighting there is so bad. And then I will swatch everything next to that. So I'm not trying to match my skin tone. I'm just trying to get as close to 1C1 as I can. And that makes it a little easier to negate the lighting because you're just looking to match a product. It is pretty sheer. That it has a sheen to it. It's got an intentional sheen to it. I'm curious how it's going to look with the rest of my makeup because I'm a little concerned. I mean, I know they said makes your skin look so much smoother, but I feel like that sheen is just emphasizing my texture. We'll see if it calms down a bit. Let's try the brush side. Let's see what we got with the brush side. Very smooth stick. I do think you can use a sponge to blend it out. No problem whatsoever. It's very smooth and emollient feeling. Very hydrating feeling. But yeah, this is a... It goes on dark, but blended out, it's not as dark looking. But I did get this intending it to be my summer shade. I do have some color on my arms. I mean, I know my arms are like yellow and blue and I mean sun color. I do have a little bit of color. I don't know how I have a little bit of color because I've actually been pretty good at wearing my arm sunscreen. I have been outdoors a lot more doing vendor events, but I'm under a tent and I'm wearing my sunscreen when I do that, but I guess I'm just picking up more sun than usual. My necklace is twisted. If anyone ever invents a way to make your necklace not twist, they'll be a millionaire, I think. You know, ironically enough, I think I kind of like the application with the sponge a little bit better. I think there is more coverage with the brush. I'm just looking at my under eye. Well, maybe I just need to blend a little more. I think you could go either way. I do think the sponge side just looks a little bit more skin-like. I'm feeling like I see more of that sheen with the brush, and it's almost like an artificial sheen, which is why it's striking me as odd, I think. I'm gonna have to take this a little bit further down my neck. I do have some color down here, but I don't have color here. Alright, let me try and even out my coverage. And we're going to take just a little bit down the neck. Get the blue blood vessel, get the sunspots. Get this evened out. I think I'll even it out with the brush. This is interesting. I haven't worn a foundation with this sort of a look to it in a very long time, if ever. That sheen is really striking me as odd. We'll see. When we get the rest of my face on. This just looks so much darker than it did in the store, and I'm very... 4 is not a dark shade for me in their line, of course, unless they're like everyone else now, and they're just not being consistent from one product to the next, with even though they're using the same numbering convention, kind of like Mac's been doing lately, and they're just not the same as they were. I'm gonna get a little on the top of my ears. Alright, I think we are applied. I think this is where we're gonna be starting out. Let me zoom you guys in and let's take a look up close. It's a little heavy on my nose. I do have a little bit of peely going on. So actually, in light of the peeling, I guess it's not super heavy. It makes me want to look at the box and be like, it says it's a foundation stick. I feel like I put a shiny bronzer all over my face. Like it's got a sheen to it. I can't explain it any other way. It is kind of clinging to my dry skin. So I do have a little bit of flaking going on especially on my non-nose ring side. And it is kind of clinging to all of those little bits of skin that are ready to exfoliate away. I just feel like a disco ball. I feel like this is the wrong product, but it's not. Its packaging says it is the hydrating foundation stick. I mean, I know they say it's a glow. It has that weird white glaze, that glazed donut look to it, which is just odd to me. We'll see. We'll see when we put the rest of my makeup on. We'll see how this goes. On the upside, it feels very hydrating, super easy to apply, which is not always the case with stick foundations on dry skin. But the glaze is interesting. I mean, do you get what I mean? Does it look weird to you? It's just that like white glazed donut look. I don't know. All right, let me put the rest of my face on. Let's check the time. It is 1:07 p.m. Let me put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin, and all I keep thinking is that the unreal part of Unreal Skin, yeah, this does not look real. It's just a glazed donut look, and it's just... Okay, here's the thing. It's hard to judge these kinds of products because the glazed donut thing is either a look you like or a look you don't like. And so I don't think this product has misrepresented itself at all. I think it says it's a sheer glow tint, and I think that is what it's doing. I just didn't expect the glazed donut situation, and I'm not a fan of the glazed donut look, but that's not a knock on the product, because I think the product is doing what it says it's gonna do, and it feels beautiful. But I don't know if I like it. But it's gonna be an aesthetic dislike, not a performance dislike. You know what I'm saying? That's just I'm having trouble getting over it. Like, I feel like there is white shiny reflect off of my face, even after I've got powder on, blush bronzer. I did no highlight because we do not need any more bling going on. Like, I feel like, like my chin is just not supposed to bling like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this feels like a highlighter. Like, I feel my whole... But that's an aesthetic preference. It's not a performance preference. It's performing well. It's performing very well. Everything blended just fine on top of it. It feels incredibly hydrating, super easy to blend out. My only complaint performance-wise is that it has settled into my deeper chin line multiple times. That's not uncommon for a highly emollient product to kind of keep moving around until it settles down. I don't know if setting it with powder would necessarily help it. I organized my vanity. You wouldn't believe how clean my vanity is right now. But I can't remember where I put my powder. So where's my Jones Road powder? I was going to say, maybe I'll powder it like right now in front of you, and we'll see if the powder tones down. But it's not the kind of reflect that's caused by moisture. You know what I'm saying? It is a glaze ingredient in the like, I want to say mica was really high up on the ingredient list. Was that what I saw? Come here, Sherlock. Help me out here. Was that what I saw? No. I must be thinking of something else. Anyhow, there's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of, we've got castor oil. We have some seed oils in here. We've got some rosemary leaf extract. Like, it's a beautiful formula. I just don't know if I can handle the glazed donut look. Where did I put my Jones Road powders? For real. I don't know. So we're not going to powder it. We're just going to roll. We're going to roll with it. It's set down. It's not a set issue. And I don't think powder would tone it down, because it's the coloration, it's the tint of the product that's giving that look. Not, sometimes dewiness is like wet, like it's moisture hasn't dried down completely, and that's why you're seeing reflect. That's not this. This is in the coloration of the product. Anyhow, on the rest of my face, I figured we'd stick with Charlotte Tilbury, her bronzer. This is shade number 2 medium. It's lovely. I like this bronzer. It's a little more warm toned than I like when I'm pale, but when I give myself a little color, like with this foundation, then this shade works really well for me. Or self-tan or whatever. Whenever I have a little bit of color happening, it's a beautiful shade for me. And so that was my bronzer. My blush is out of this month's July's Ipsy from Seraphine Botanicals. Periwinkle Pop. This is the shade Sunshine, and it's gorgeous. It looks a little more coral in the pan, but it comes off more as a pinky coral, very pigmented. Go in with a light hand. But I really like the color of it. It's very pretty. I would have never picked it. That's why I love Ipsy. I would have never picked this off a shelf. I would have thought it was too coral for me. But because I have it, I tried it, and I like it. So that's one of the joys of having when you don't pick things yourself, because sometimes your biases prevent you from picking things, and you might have been wrong. Like I would have been totally wrong to skip this. My eyes, also from Ipsy. If you missed my video earlier in the week, I did this eye look with the Laura Geller Wildflower Wishes palette. It's a beautiful palette. I ended up going more warm toned than I anticipated, but I had intended to kind of, why are my bangs the focus of the camera right now? Please. I had intended to hang out on the cooler side, but I ended up on the warmer side, and I ain't mad at it. I think it's beautiful. This is a super well curated color story because you can take these four, these four, these four, these four, these four, these four, and make beautiful eye looks out of them. I love when palettes are organized that way because it makes it so much easier if you either don't want to choose colors yourself, or you're not good at choosing colors yourself, or you want to try a color combo you wouldn't have normally chosen yourself. When they arrange them this way, it just gives you a lot of ways to easily experiment. Polite Society mascara, CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus in the waterline. My lips are What's Up Beauty Ziva from the Egyptian Queen collection, topped with the Lawless Forget the Filler, favorite gloss of all time. Let's just say it. Let's just be honest. Shade is Velvet, and I think that's all the things. I'm going to go about my day. I will not be going to get a sandwich for two reasons. Number one, ooh, I'm late. It's 2:01. I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons today, so I have to go play my D&D campaign literally right now. But my Jeep is in the shop again. Not for the paint corrosion issue this time, for a cooling system issue this time, and they don't have the part to fix it. So I don't know when I'm going to get it back. No idea. Don't know if it's covered under warranty because it's a holiday weekend and they couldn't confirm. Just empty every pocket. That's what Jeep stands for, right? Apparently the 4-year mark is when you start emptying your pockets. Anyway, let's hope it's covered under warranty. Let's hope I get it back soon. And because I actually need it this weekend and next weekend. But I will still go about my day. I will get you guys a daylight check-in after D&D, and then I will come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, it is 4:25. I just got to look in bathroom lighting, and I thought for sure when I look in the mirror, it's not going to look like a disco ball, and it was just the fact that I was in my studio lighting, and no, I could still see that like weird white reflect off my chin. So here we are outside. Here's the at a distance. Try to show you the I was swatching. I can't show you, I can't point at it because I'm holding my phone, but like the part of my arm closest to my watch there is kind of what I was swatching in the store, which is why I picked this shade, because this is about what I look summer wise, shirt or arm wise. But yeah, this reflect is just weird. I'm getting my hair cut in a couple days, so ignore the mess there. Ugh, I just look like a disco ball. Look how shiny my chin, and like, it's just not cute. I don't know about the smoothness thing, because do you see how the disco ball just kind of makes, you can see every little bump of my texture? Like, feels great. And it's not dewy, like it's not sticky. It's totally set down. It's just that's the finish. Yeah, very comfortable, feels wonderful. I don't like this aesthetic at all. But I'm gonna go finish my D&D game, and then I'll be back tonight. 10:21 p.m. That puts us right around the 9-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin foundation held up. Still look like a glazed donut. Here's the thing. Whatever it is that's that like white pearlescent kind of ingredient for giving that look, at least on me, so it's like kind of caked up a little bit on my upper lip, so you could, now that we're a day into wearing this, you can just tell that that product is, none of this looks like skin to me. Like it looks literally unreal to me. It's unreal skin. When you, it just, let me just zoom you guys in. We'll take a good look at this together. So you can see in different spots where the white is just, well, white. On my chin, on my upper lip. It's starting to get that way under my eyes a little bit. And it's just not a look that I enjoy. It did settle a little bit into my chin lines after I had, you know, blended it out several times. I do think it's a hydrating formula. My skin feels really nice. I don't think it is smoothing because I think that white sheen accentuates texture and makes my pores more visible. Blush, bronzer, highlight, however, are still well intact, and so I feel like it's a good base. It's a good, like, it stayed put for the most part, and maybe in deep lines it might move around a bit, as I had a little bit of trouble with that, but did not settle into my smile lines or into my forehead lines or my crow's feet. So smaller lines, I think it's fine. I just don't like the glazed donut thing. Now, there are other products, like I will often describe as saran wrap, which that's uncomfortable. That feels greasy. Like, this doesn't feel greasy. It doesn't feel bad. It's not uncomfortable. In fact, it's very comfortable. It's set down. It's holding on to the powders, and so I think it's performing well. I just aesthetically don't like the white glaze. Like, I don't like that look. I don't think it is smoothing on mature skin, at least not on mine. So it's a little tough to grade this, because if I had to give a grade to the Unreal Skin Tint as far as my personal preferences, I'd probably go C-. It moves around a little bit. It's not the look that I like. I could see myself using it like on a no makeup day as like my contour, like, or not contour, my bronzer type of a thing, as far as like getting a little combo highlight / color going. But I mean, my chin is just not supposed to glow like that. Like, that's just weird to me. However, I think if you do like that glazed look, and I did go on Charlotte Tilbury's website and look at the photos to see, did I just totally miss this? Now, most of the photos they took from a side angle, so the highlight that you could see was like the high points of the face. Now, that to me, the way it looks, could very well have been, you know, highlight applied. I did not take that to mean that was the foundation. But, you know, now that I'm doing this on the camera, like, yeah, it's doing exactly what it did in the pictures. But if you look at your face straight on, it's highlight everywhere. Like, it's not just the high points of the face. If you like this look, I would have given this an A-. If you're a fan of that glazed look, I think it performs well. It's hydrating. It's only minimally symptomatic for mature skin, good for dry skin. I personally don't like this look at all. I'm looking in the camera right now, like, I'm not supposed to glow from these places. I'm just not supposed to be glowing. Like, the whole face isn't supposed to reflect like that. I don't like this look. That's just my personal preference. I think it's a great foundation if you like this look. It's not something I'm not gonna wear it as a full face foundation. I'll keep it and I will use it, but not as a full face foundation. I will use it on the high points of my face. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, what do you think about the glazed donut look? Give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments. What do you want to see next? What do you think of this one? Have you tried it? Is this a look that you're into? Do you enjoy the look? No shade if you do. Clearly a ton of people do. It gets very good reviews. Just not my cup of tea. Check out Patreon if you want to follow me over there for some bonus content, updates, sales, whatever I got going on behind the scenes. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye. Say bye, Ziva.